Coming up on First at 4, officials in one county meet to discuss whether or not to allow medical cannabis sales. Hear what they decided. And several AT&T employees are still on strike in Pikeville. We'll hear from workers in the Big Sandy region.
And temperatures today were in the mid to upper 70s, so that gives you an indication that the warming trend is starting. Details in a few minutes.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, the Laurel County Fiscal Court met about the possibility of allowing medical cannabis businesses. The court voted 4-3 in favor of prohibiting the sale of medical cannabis in Laurel County. Even with the fiscal court denying the sales, there will still be a vote on the sale of medicinal cannabis in the city limits of London later this year. London Mayor Randall Weddle says the decision could have a huge impact on the people of Laurel County.
It is a sad day that individuals that's far out in the county now will not have access or have to come further into city limits if it passes in the city to be able to purchase that.
Community members in London will vote in November to decide if the sale of medicinal cannabis will be allowed in London. Tonight at 6, we'll have a closer look at what the future of medical cannabis businesses might look like in Laurel County. Knott County School Superintendent Brent Hoover announced his retirement earlier this week. Hoover says he is proud of his 29-year-long career in Knott County. He was also once a student in the district. He says the July 2022 flood gave him, his staff, and students a new perspective on what is important.
I think it's made us all stronger. All the folks that live in Knott County, it's made us all stronger, but the employees of Knott County Schools, it made them stronger. It made us all look at things differently. I think we now appreciate the important things just a little bit more as a result of the flood.
Hoover's retirement is effective October 1st of this year.
Well, the sneak preview of fall is officially over for the most part, as temperatures today were in the upper 70s and low 80s. Right now we're at 77 in Hazard as well as Jackson and Prestonsburg, 76 in Pikeville, 79 in Grundy, 80s from Harlan down to Middlesboro, 82 is the current temperature in Somerset. And we are substantially warmer now as compared to 24 hours ago, 5 degrees warmer in Pikeville as well as Somerset. Same story in Jonesville as well as Wise, 4 degrees warmer from Prestonsburg down to London, down to Monticello. So here's the latest with Live Pinpoint Doppler. And Live Pinpoint Doppler radar has had a nice little vacation over the past several days as we've had a clean sweep. That trend's going to continue as we go throughout the weekend into the first part of next week. It's when we get into Wednesday, Thursday, that rain chances will start to pick up. We'll see temperatures in the upper 60s by the 9 o'clock hour. By the time you join us tonight for Mountain News, whenever we go on, we'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, upper 50s and low 60s by 1 a.m., 5 a.m. We'll see a temperature of 57. So when you wake up in the morning, temperatures in the low to mid 50s will greet you. Now the 90s are going to make a comeback. We'll talk about that in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. Union members with the Communication Workers of America are continuing the unfair labor strike against AT&T, with crews planted outside of operation centers throughout the 3rd District. WYMT's Buddy Forbes spoke to members of the local 3317 chapter in Pikeville about their hopes moving forward.
Workers say they would much rather spend their Thursday out on the job. But until things change, they are here outside of the AT&T office in Pikeville on day 7 of an unfair labor strike. The workers planted in the Pikeville picket lines say they have been dealing with weeks of questions as they wait for representatives with AT&T to come to the table for contract negotiations for a contract that expired August 3rd. So they feel a strike was the only option, saying the current issue is not money or benefits. It is the fact that they still have no guideline as to what those would even look like, saying the company has been unable to sign or negotiate a tentative agreement to get the ball rolling.
We want to get back out there and help everyone as soon as we can, but we need an agreement to work under and know that we're going to have some protection, and we know what we're going to be paying for our health care and what our pay is going to be. We can't just be out here without a contract working and when we're a union 17,000 strong. So we're sticking together and hoping for an outcome very soon from the company.
The workers say they cannot stress enough how dedicated they are to their jobs, saying the last thing they want to do is be out here, but they feel they have to fight for their futures. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Workers say a mediator has been called in to work between the union and the company, and they are hopeful that things can be figured out soon. We'll have a closer look at the Pikeville picket coming up at 6. High school football season starts tomorrow night, and fans may notice some new rules impacting them and their kids this year. A new rule in some school systems requires elementary school or middle school students to be accompanied by parents at games. Anderson County Athletic Director Corey Sire says unsupervised kids are creating problems at some sporting events.
So if kids come in and they're not with a parent or a guardian and they're not a high schooler, then they'll be asked to sort of turn around and go find an adult.
Kentucky's High School Athletic Association Commissioner Julian Tackett says the adult supervision rule is becoming more of a trend because of discipline and violent acts at some games. Coming up on First at 4, is baby food healthy? One study has an answer that may make parents rethink what they buy.
And in the world of weather, we'll see plenty of sunshine as we go throughout the weekend. Details in a few minutes.